All right, welcome everyone to this Masterclass Explainer. Look, if you're sick and tired of wiping in the high threat zones, or maybe you've got act missions just gathering dust because you hit a massive progression wall, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are completely resetting your approach to Modern Warfare 3 zombies. We're tossing out those casual tactics and transforming you into a highly efficient, highly competitive player who can conquer the absolute hardest content this game has to throw at you. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's exactly what we're covering in this explainer. First up, the new survival mindset. 2. S-tier gear and loadouts. 3. The ultimate cash loop. 4. Bosses and act missions. And finally, surviving the Elder Rift.
All right, part 1, the new survival mindset, redefining the game.
So, the absolute biggest trap you can fall into is treating MWZ like your classic round-based zombies. You know, just hanging out, killing hordes, hoarding ammo. But here's the thing. Competitive players know MWZ is actually an extraction economy. It is literally all about speed. Your most precious resource? It isn't your ammo. It's your clock management. You've got exactly 45 minutes before that Aether Storm expands, and guys, every single second you waste is just one step closer to a squad wipe.
Think about it like this. An extraction economy is a mode where efficiency, rapid resource gathering, and instant prep completely dictate your success against a ticking clock. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, the exact millisecond your boots hit the ground in Urzikstan, you are on the clock. You're not just wandering around taking pot shots at single zombies in the low threat zone. No way. You find a vehicle, a hatchback, an LTV, honestly anything with wheels, and you start moving immediately. Because in this mode, speed is literally life.
Moving on to Section 2, S-tier gear and loadouts. Time to build the ultimate arsenal.
Okay, let's talk about the regain run. Look, it happens. If you wipe, your very next match is purely for rebuilding your infrastructure. Don't panic. Just follow these exact steps. Step 1, hit a mercenary camp. Get in there, grab a 2-plate vest and a stronghold key. Step 2, take that key straight to a Merc stronghold and secure your 3-plate vest. And Step 3, grab a fast getaway vehicle, drive right up to a Tier 3 buy station, drop 10,000 essence on a large rucksack, and get the heck out of there. Boom! You're fully geared up in minutes, not hours. Now here's a crucial point that gets so many casual players sent straight back to the lobby. Weapon rarity is way more important than Pack-a-Punch. This is probably the single most misunderstood mechanic in the whole game. You absolutely have to prioritize finding and saving Aether tools over just mindlessly rushing to a Pack-a-Punch machine.
Let me put a real number on this for you. 15,000. That's the amount of essence you're throwing away if you take a common, gray-tier weapon to Pack-a-Punch level 3. And guess what? It's still going to do absolutely terrible damage, and you're going to get completely overrun the second you step into Tier 3. A legendary orange-tier weapon at just Pack-a-Punch level 1 will absolutely blow that fully packed gray gun out of the water. So please, save those epic and legendary Aether tools for your big runs.
All right, let's talk loadouts. You've got to leave those standard multiplayer builds behind. For competitive MWZ, your primary should be the Lockwood 680 shotgun. Slap on the Defender long barrel and those 12-gauge slugs. For your secondary, you want the Akimbo WSP Swarm. It gives you insane mobility for when you're backpedaling away from a horde. Field upgrades? Go with Healing Aura for instant squad revives or Frenzied Guard to instantly snap your armor back to full and taunt the enemies. Oh, and your tactical slot? It absolutely, 100% needs to be decoy grenades. So, why the Lockwood 680? Well, because right now it features one of the most beautifully broken bugs in gaming. When you equip those 12-gauge slugs and put the gun through the Pack-a-Punch, it doesn't just fire one upgraded slug. Nope. It fires a literal wall of 10 massive slugs, all at the exact same time. It completely breaks the gun, but in the best way possible. You'll be melting Tier 3 mega bombs like they're made of absolute butter.
And listen, I really cannot stress this enough. Decoy grenades are absolutely mandatory. You cannot outrun a Tier 3 sprinting zombie, and you definitely cannot outrun a Hellhound. It's just not happening. So if you need to hit a Pack-a-Punch machine or a buy station deep in the red zone, throw a decoy first, handle your business, and keep moving. Refill them constantly at ammo caches. Seriously, if you're running anything else in your tactical slot, you're doing it wrong.
All right, Section 3, the ultimate cash loop, tearing through contracts.
Remember what we said about speed? Ignore those random zombies just wandering around the map.
You need to focus strictly on these 3 contracts to get the absolute best speed to payout ratio. First up, deliver cargo. It requires 0 combat, literally none. Just open the garage, dodge the attack chopper, and get paid. Simple. Second, bounty contracts, but specifically target mimics and manglers for the fastest kills. And third, outlast or raid weapon stash contracts. These are fantastic because you can farm weapon XP and trigger your weapon mods all while securing the bag.
Oh, and here's a massive pro tip for those high-tier bounty contracts. If you pull a Mega Abomination bounty while you're in Tier 3, don't panic. Just swing by a buy station and drop 10,000 Essence on a Juggernaut kill streak. Drop it in, suit up, and you will absolutely shred that Mega Abomination. Zero stress. Honestly, it practically pays for itself in the loot and progression you get back. Moving into Section 4, Bosses and Act Missions. Clearing the story.
So this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to counter the game's most frustrating bottlenecks. Stuck on the Stormcaller boss? Listen, do not fight him with standard weapons. Just craft a Wunderwaffe DG2, pack it to level 3, and the Chain Lightning will absolutely melt his health bar in under a minute. Or grab a Deadwire ammo mod. Now, what about Tier 3 infested strongholds? That's all about pacing. Toss a single decoy, run in, shoot exactly 2 spores, retreat, plate up, and repeat the process. And like we just talked about, for Mega Abominations, just drop a Juggernaut right on their head.
Okay, I have to talk about a massive source of frustration. Honestly, how many times have you yelled at your screen, "My mission didn't track"? Well, listen closely. It's probably not a bug. Check the floor. For a lot of these act missions, the exact moment you complete the objective, say getting sentry gun kills, a tiny little ciphered tablet drops right onto the ground. If you just jump in your car and speed away without picking it up, you lose all that progress and have to do the whole shebang over again. So remember to look down.
And that brings us to Section 5, Surviving the Elder Rift, the deep endgame.
I really want you to ask yourself right now, are you actually truly prepared for the Elder Dark Aether? Guys, this is an incredibly unforgiving tier of gameplay. If you walk in there without the exact right setup, you are going to wipe, and you will lose every single thing we just spent all this time building. So, here is your absolute mandatory packing list. Do not step 1 foot through that portal without ticking these boxes. Every single squad member needs a 3-plate vest and a durable gas mask. No exceptions. You each need a minimum of 3 self-revives stuffed in your rucksack. As a squad, you want a good mix of Frenzied Guard and Healing Aura field upgrades. And lastly, fill every remaining slot in your bags with Casimir grenades and sentry guns. Trust me, you're gonna need all of them.
But, before you even get inside, you've got to pay the toll. To unlock the portal to the Elder Dark Aether, you have to complete this whole Easter egg hunt. You need to collect and upgrade 4 specific gold items scattered across the map, like the giraffe toy, for example. Once you've got those and you place them on the pedestals, well, that's when the real nightmare begins.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the escort contract inside the Rift. It requires this highly coordinated dance. You literally have to treat that escort ACV like it's your newborn child. The strat here is to surround the vehicle completely with sentry guns, so it's basically bristling with firepower. When the horde gets too thick, start chucking those Casimir grenades to create black holes. They'll suck the zombies right off the armor. But most importantly, you have to use your own bodies and firepower to physically block those Mega Abominations from charging the ACV. If one gets through, it gets destroyed instantly.
So, I know what you're thinking. Why put yourself through all this stress? Well, because mastering this exact loop unlocks the absolute ultimate classified Tier 5 schematic payoffs. I am talking about the Golden Armor Plate, which automatically regenerates your armor for you. The Aether Blade, this insanely lethal throwing knife that bounces between targets and literally flies right back to your hand. And the Dogbone, which spawns a friendly, incredibly tanky Tier 3 Hellhound that'll actually revive you and fight right by your side. These items, they are absolute game changers.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground today in this explainer, completely shifting your strategy from just casual survival to absolute competitive dominance. So my final question to you is this. Which aspect of the Dark Aether or those frustrating act missions are you going to conquer first using these new tactics? Take this knowledge, apply it to your very next match, and just watch how quickly you completely command the exclusion zone. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.